product manufacturing, building design, construction, and green labeling, sort of limit the footprint of in the production and consumption of construction materials. They're taking all our reports and they're using them to sort of enhance their databases and help other companies who are trying to incorporate LCA to do a better job. And I'm going to give this over to Catherine, basically, who's going to talk about other stakeholders involved with LCA studies. Sorry, let's go back.
So one of our projects was to work on the Georgia and Dunsmuir Viaducts, as Sherwood mentioned before, and this directly connects into City of Vancouver's Green City 2020 goals. They wanted to look at how the viaducts, what they do next with it, really would help contribute to their greenest city goals. So that's really what's going to come out, hopefully come out of one of the projects that we've worked on over the past few months. And really we can then, the City of Vancouver is taking that initiative to be a leader in this sort of looking at the life cycle assessment of an infrastructure. No one's really done this in terms of transportation projects specifically. And then with integration into industry, something that's happening with the LEAD 2012 draft coming up this year, there'll be two kind of criterias or credit scores. One's based around the material, looking at the material life cycle assessment, and then there's also looking at the building life cycle assessment. And those are two brand new considerations that LEAD has put in, and that's kind of the next thing of where is life cycle assessment going and how is that getting integrated into industry. It is pushing forward, and it keeps growing, and there's also many different other organizations that are incorporating life cycle assessment into their standards and their procedures. And really, the basis of life cycle assessment, what we've been working on is creating that structure behind sustainable claims and quantifying those values. So having the industry come up with standards that says this is how we want this to be measured is really the next step. And our entire class is going to act as ambassadors for life cycle assessment. Just moving forward, we will all be graduating within the next few years, so we can then carry out this knowledge into companies that we're going to be working for, or just be interacting with our colleagues as well as our friends, really getting the concept of life cycle assessment out there to more people. And so we'll be promoting the use of LCA often, or a lot of students have gone on, started companies and organizations to promote the use of LCA when looking at the design of buildings, and hopefully this will continue on over the next years. It will also encourage more complete and valid studies, not just going, this is a sustainable building. Well, how is that complete and valid statement? How is that, what's the evidence behind that? And also encouraging best practices in green infrastructure. And so what are some measurable ways to say this is a green building, this is certain infrastructure such as the viaducts. There's also, you can look at highways, they now have LEED scores. So how is this a LEED infrastructure? And how is this a green infrastructure? And then driving change, we're can use LCA in the aid of decision-making processes. This will hopefully become evident with what the City of Vancouver is doing. We're really hoping that the results of that study will help them decide what to do with the viaduct area. Also, to tie into use at UBC, some of the results can be used to go, what does UBC want to make as their policies, and how do they want to, what decisions do they want to make based on what the LCA of a certain building that they're developing is. It will also encourage consideration of LCA in infrastructure projects. Being, I'm graduating this year as well as a lot of my classmates, so we'll be working in industry to go, hey, I know this project's moving forward, have we thought about an LCA in that, the decision-making process and getting that LCA into the infrastructure projects as a whole and the deliverable package that comes out of that. And then also our projects of provided a benchmark for similar projects. There's a lot of the infrastructure around campus as well as around Vancouver is needing to be updated and changed, and with doing LCA studies for some of the new buildings and new infrastructure as well as some of the old, it kind of provides a benchmark of, okay, what can we do next with the next generation of infrastructure that will be developed. So this is a highlight of what we've done throughout our project, or during our presentation. We went through what is an LCA, how did we use LCA in our class, the results of our studies, and then what's next for LCA. And you can also kind of see how much work that we put in, and that being sustainable and green does take effort and energy and is not always easy. There are definitely some roadblocks occasionally, so that can come up as well. And yeah, thank you guys for being here, and hopefully if you have any questions and discussion points, we're all here after this, so thanks.